Hello.
Hi, I am the light of the Leo. Welcome. This is my brother JoJo Speaks, aka Jonathan, aka Joe Nathan, and we are here to do the spoiler review for Netflix Young Royals, and this is what season 2, episode 4. Child, we only got two more episodes.
Yes.
We are slowly but surely getting it on in. Anywho, it's very nice to see you guys. Hope that you guys are having a great day. And you know what I'm saying, let's just jump into it. Join us.
All right, y'all. So we left off on episode 3 with Felice and Wilhelm kissing and possibly getting into things. So we start off with what seems like the next day. Felice is in class, and these two girls are chitter chattering, saying, Felice, she seems like a gold digger. She's trying to
Oh,
get the prince. Honey, she's ooh, honey, she's
wait.
they was halfway to calling her a hoe. Okay,
You forgot to say that somebody saw them doing that.
that happened in the third episode. Someone walked in on them.
We ain't talking. I don't remember talking about that.
We definitely did, because that's what
Uh-uh.
stopped them from moving
Oh, moving
further.
forward. You're
Yes,
right. My bad.
yes. Okay, so Felice is dealing with these chatty catties trying to bring her down. Okay,
And she good. She know how to do it.
she is. Felice is a strong black woman, strong black Swedish woman. You know what I'm saying? She's not gonna let it, get her too down. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so then we have our title screen where they show young royals, and they're showing good old, second in line August, and the look on his face. They might as well have had him cheesing like the biggest grin. But it was a pleasant look on his face because it's almost like he's feeling like he's back in the saddle, he's back in the
Wow.
game. He's back to he
I'm
has
on
something.
my way up.
Okay, yes, that's exactly what it is. He is on his way up, and so we then get to Sarah, and she's texting August, and August is saying your turn, as in he wants her to send him some pics, um, and she was like, what kind of pics are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And I think we all know what kind of pics August
Are
wants to
you
see of
sure?
Miss Sarah.
I like thumbs up
I
pics.
think Okay, yeah. So, what do you think of August and Sarah's seem? I won't say their relationship, but what they have going on right now. How are you feeling? Because a lot of the reactors that I watch, I think it's really sweet because we see another side of August, a sweeter side of August. However, I just don't care. One of my favorite reactors that I sent you, he's got locks and he's from London. He doesn't care either. He's like, yeah. How do you feel about August and Sarah so far?
I actually care. I think it is nice that though August is going through it and he may not be my favorite person, it's nice to see that he's able to connect with somebody because it was like nails on the chalkboard seeing him and Felice together. It wasn't cute because I knew we knew
It
Felice
wasn't
didn't like
real.
them. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't nothing real about it, but we know that Sarah likes him. That's her name, right?
Yeah, Sarah.
We know that Sarah likes him, so I'm here for it. I think it's all right. Ain't nothing too bad about it.
Yeah, nothing too bad about it at all. So now we've got the girls. They're hanging out by their lockers, I think, and they're talking about, they've got like a Valentine's Day type of thing going on, where secret
Hmm.
admirers send notes to their secret admirers, and the girls are like, "Oh, I hope I get one." And yeah, I remember we used to have this thing in school for Valentine's Day. I think in middle school where you can send someone a rose. And
Hmm.
yeah, we had that thing going on. So of course, it's a high school thing. High school kids are excited about possible love or whatever. Any thoughts on that,
Yeah,
Jennifer?
it's a recipe for disaster. That's how I feel about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. Sorry, I was looking at my next notes for the next scene. I
Oh, my
apologize. I need to make
bad.
this a little smoother. It's okay. It's totally fine. So then we have the boys at the breakfast table, honey. Every time I say breakfast table, I think of Miss Loretta Devine in Kingdom Come having a husband drop dead at the breakfast table. She's so concerned. It was so iconic,
And had
Loretta
to be.
Devine.
I love that.
It had to be her, yes. And shout out to Miss Claydell because that's exactly who that was all day
Literally.
long,
It,
all
wa-
day long.
they might have. There's no way they didn't know who that woman was.
No way, okay, because that was her verbatim. Every line, everything she did, how
Absolutely.
she acted, everything was Miss Claydell from our church. Anyways, so we have the boys at the breakfast table, and we saw in the second episode of the previous season that whenever something sexual goes on, we like to share it with the room. We like to share with everybody
Oh,
in the dorm room about what happened. And so, someone I believe it was
people
Vince.
need to mind their own business.
Okay, they clearly don't mind their own business in Sweden. Shoot, not in America either. Hell, anywhere. But
Okay.
anyway, so it seems like I believe it was probably Vincent. That yeah, it was Vincent. That asked, William, do you have any stories to tell your brothers? Okay, you know what I'm saying? Because something went down between you and Felice. Okay, and William was like, well, she was in my room. Yeah, yes, Jennifer.
I would have said brothers. My brother has gone to glory. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, yes, absolutely. And so Willem is like, well, I mean, Felice was in my room and we were watching movies. And Vincent was like, well, he walked behind the man who actually caught them. I don't know exactly what his name was, but the guy who actually caught them in the midst of their
Oh.
almost coitus. Okay,
Oh,
and I got
this
that from
close.
Alex. This close. Got that from Alexander Rogers. I never heard that word before he said it. Anyways, and so he says, so old boy didn't catch y'all kissing. Okay. And then Simone has the nerve to be, first of all, his face is all turned up. And then once they say that Willem and Felice kiss, he gets up and storms out the room. What did you think of Simone's reaction
Just another
to this
level.
news?
Just another level of over it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, sir, if that's the man you want, get with that man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Though you're upset and feel as if that he can't get past him living with his life, let's be real and honest with each other. The ball was always in Simone's court.
Absolutely, absolutely, always. Willem has been
So,
ready and willing since day one.
okay.
Since day one.
Okay.
And
So if
then
you're gonna be mad, be mad at yourself.
exactly because you're doing this to yourself. All of this
Absolutely.
to yourself. If you would just give in and say yes, Willem, yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
okay, y'all will be happy together, no matter how it
Absolutely.
turns out.
And he
If
will
you're
protect you.
right, and then the reason why Simone is not with him is because he doesn't want to be a secret. But then, with him not wanting to be a secret, he's still mad that Willem is in his room kissing Felice. But you're trying to move on, right?
All
I
right
thought you was
now.
trying to move on. Okay,
All right.
all right. And
All
Willem
right.
also tells the other boys, we need to get rid of this tradition. This whole us telling each other about our sexual escapades and whatnot. This is gotta go. Just like we was waiting on the 30 years to eat first, we was waiting on the 30 years to get in the shower first. Yeah, this gotta go too. Number 3. Okay, got to go. Got to go.
Because it's fun and games until it's you.
Well, yeah, yeah. You in an un he doesn't want to do it. When it's something that you don't want to do, of course, then you're going to be against it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so Simone walks out and he texts Marcus, asks him, what you doing? So Simone meets up with Marcus and Simone invites Marcus to the masquerade ball that they're having later that night. Um,
Yay.
and Marcus is like, that malls are really, really not my thing. You know what I'm saying? I really ain't trying to go there. You know what I'm saying? That ain't my gig. That ain't my gig. Okay, that's not my ministry, honey. Okay, What do you feel about Simone making the decision to invite Marcus after what just he literally did this right after this happened
We
at the
both
breakfast
know
table?
exactly what it is. So there's a chance that he automatically feels as if Wille is going to be there with Felice in the way that he is under the impression that they're in. And of course, he'd want to have somebody to make him feel better. Or maybe make Wille feel like he felt in that moment.
That's very true. This was very immature of Simone, but as
Rather,
immature as it was, we see grown people that do this all of the time,
say
like
that.
all the time. We see it all the time. So, anyways, we get into the gym and we're in PE class, it seems like. And we playing a good old game of dodgeball. I used to like playing dodgeball. I wasn't afraid of getting hit. I really wasn't a target in dodgeball. Surprisingly, I would think I would be the target, but I wasn't a target during dodgeball. I don't remember playing it that often though, but it was always a fun game. And so Simone has the ball.
Oh, because we were playing, because when we were at that place at Fort Jackson,
Yes.
that's where we played. Were you messed with at all out there during
I
summer?
actually wasn't. I was not bullied at that summer camp. Now, I
Yeah.
will say, when I was a teenager, and we were back in the game room all day long, they're not doing nothing, playing pool or whatever. Just got to go to the pool and to the basketball court. One day, they told us that we were all going to play basketball, and I brought some basketball shorts. Do you remember those blue shorts that I used to have that were real high water? I don't know if you remember them, but I had these high water
Yes.
blue shorts. And those were the only basketball shorts that I had. And I wore them.
Uh,
And one of the other teenagers was singing that song, Who Wears Short Shorts? So that was the only type of bullying. Well, it wasn't really bullying. I was
he
made
was
fun
just
of.
razzing on
But
you.
other than that, I really didn't have to deal with that at the summer camp, surprisingly. Surprisingly. But anyways, Simone has the ball, and he hits Willem right in the head with it, straight into the straight direct shot. Okay, being so so. Hey, you have feelings about this, Jennifer?
It's like
Disdain,
seriously,
honey.
like child. I get you have emotions. I get you feel away. But hitting them upside the head with a dodgeball is not going to help your life. It's not
Okay,
even going to get out any of your anger that you have towards the boy. What?
okay. It's only temporary, honey. It's only
Literally,
temporary.
like, come on now. Mm-mm.
So then we have a scene of Simone and Wilhelm talking in the locker room, and Willem is like, "Okay, so you tell me that you're not in a relationship with this Marcus dude, and then you gonna kiss him right in front of me? Like, I was like, how was that? How was that supposed to make me feel?" And then Simone says, "Well, at least he shows that he likes me in public. You know what I'm saying?" Simone, you're acting as if Willem is not the crown prince. Simone, you're acting as if Wilhelm doesn't have status. You're acting as if Wilhelm doesn't have position in the royal court. Like, why are you being so unreasonable? And Wilhelm then replies with, "Well, how do you expect me to act when I am the crown prince? Like, I can't do that ish. That is a no-no, okay?" Were you rolling your eyes through this entire scene, girl?
The whole time, Jonathan, like it's like we're all fighting the air. You know what I'm saying? Just trying
Right.
to, make things make sense and make things work. And then we're being horrible towards each other because we can't get what we want out of each other simply because the circumstances that we're in. That's a problem. That means that there's no answer. There's no answer. Okay, there is an
There
answer.
is an
The
answer.
only
Yes.
answer is compromise. The only
Right.
answer is understanding. There's no way for you to get exactly what you want, either of you, to get exactly what you want. Because Wille wants what Simone wants as well.
Right.
But he can't do that.
Right. But Simone
Foolishness.
just refuses to, like you said, compromise. He refuses to compromise. They
Yeah,
took us through this drama in this second season. And
yes.
again, that's why I feel as though the second season is better than the first, because we really didn't have all this going on in the first season. Yes, there was a
Yeah.
little bit going on,
To
but
be honest, Jonathan. I
Mm.
think I like the first season a little bit better
I can understand why you like the first season a little bit
because
better
I like
because
to see people come together. It was very
agreed.
cute,
Agreed. I
you
like to
know.
see the beginning of a love story. I always like to watch it from the beginning. I never like to see it from the middle.
Okay, because
Well, I won't
you
say I
know why,
never
right?
I won't say I never like to see it from the middle, but I prefer to see it from the beginning.
But do you know why?
You gonna tell me why? Because
I
I'm sure
will.
I think I might guess wrong.
The reason why is because the fairy tale part is in the beginning. The
Yes.
falling is in the beginning, and then
Yes.
when you get to the middle, realities start hitting you. The reality of a situation or really starting to get to know somebody, and things can get real when you start to get to know somebody, and that's
Right.
in any relationship. So yeah, the middle is not always the best, but it's more of a learning time. It's still a great time, but it's a
Right.
learning time, and you start to really learn my hair. You
Yeah.
start to learn that person.
And when you start from the middle, you sometimes you don't get the backstory or you
You
don't
don't
get a
understand.
full backstory, so you don't know what
Yeah.
the history is of the relationship.
I
So you
mean,
don't
you
know
want the
how it
history.
yes, and you don't know how they got to this point where you're starting off. So yeah, that definitely makes sense. So anyways, next scene we have one of Sarah's friends, Madison, getting a love note, a secret love note from one of her secret from a secret admirer, and it ends with um is it a crime I want to make you mine because you're so damn fine? How did you feel about Madison getting this note? And did you have an idea of who it was coming from initially?
So I think in the realm of the actual production, okay? So I automatically started thinking about all the boys around there. It's like no boy is really stepping up and out in this space
Right.
for me to believe that it was them. And all the other stuff that the boys were writing was sounding real stupid slash cheesy, okay?
Yeah.
And
Was this
I
not cheesy though? Because it was cheesy to
no,
me.
no. Cause it was more it was elaborate. Like the person was in love. You could tell the person
Yeah.
was in love with this person, with in love with her. And so um I was kind of blank until like a few like us this
A
next
few scenes
scene or
later.
just you see them talking about it, it's like
Right. You see her being all coy and looking away and yeah, yeah, I get that. So in the next scene we have Willem and Felice meeting in the classroom and Felice is like, okay, so what was that? What was that kiss? What exactly was that? And Willem explains to Felice, you know what I'm going through, Felice, and I just wanted to see if it felt the same as it felt with Simone. And Felice is like, why would you do that when
Loki
you know I've been in love with you since elementary school? Like,
Loki the same thing that he was Simone was doing with Marcus.
agreed,
High key.
agreed. Very much so, absolutely. And Willem is like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that to you. And of course, Wilhelm wasn't thinking of that when he did that. Of course, that was
Nope.
not his intention to try to lead her on. He was just trying to feel better in the moment, and she just so
Exactly.
happened to be with him at that time.
It's like,
Um,
sir, you need to act as if you know that I've been in the DJ booth with you on my cell phone.
Okay, because I don't think she told anybody that.
Okay. Jeez Louise. Ficky Ficky. All right.
Okay, freaky, freaky. And so Wilhelm asked her for, apologizes and asks, what can you forgive me? She was like, yes, yes, and then she says, and she says that I like you as a friend. And they give each other a hug. It's so sweet.
And I love this.
Don't you?
I love this. It made me very happy to see that they were able to come together in that way. I've been really enjoying the friendship coming together. That was kind of like the
Absolutely.
new stuff that was happening. Their friendship really coming together as just friend and friend, nothing more, nothing less. I believe it's what they should have had from the beginning.
Agreed. And then Wilhelm says, Simone has told me that he's actually with Marcus, that they have something going on. He didn't deny it. He didn't say that they were
Yeah.
together, but he didn't deny it. And so that's the conclusion that Willem is coming to. And he actually says, I think we're done. I think there's no going back. I think we're done for. Why are you laughing?
I wasn't laughing. I was feeling like I was crying, Jonathan. Stop it.
Really, really, girl. That was a terrible, terrible acting job of crying, girl. I
Oh,
didn't
I need.
believe it because
Okay.
I picked it up as laughing. Okay,
Oh.
maybe it's because I
Oh.
didn't see your face
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
specifically, so I didn't see
Okay.
it close up.
Let
So
me
that's
try
why I
again.
didn't pick it up too. That's much better. That's much better. So we then see August and Sarah. They are spooning in his dorm room. Okay, um,
Yay.
and then August gets a call from the royal court. And they tell him, they ask him a couple questions. Are you on drugs? He says no, liar. They ask him if he's heterosexual. Interesting that they ask him if he's heterosexual, but I guess they want to be sure if they're going to get an heir or not. And they also suggest to him that he start his military education within the next the next season.
Hmm.
And I guess that's kind of a thing that princes have to go through. We all know Prince Harry went through that, and I believe
Absolutely.
Prince William from England went through that as well. So I guess
Yeah.
that's kind of a tradition that all princes have to do. And then August, and then August, August tells Sarah, reveals to Sarah that he is Wilhelm's backup. And he does this all while he's in the buff, in his birthday suit. So I guess they had just finished, doing the do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And August was told not to tell nobody. Were you surprised that August told Sarah this?
No. No.
Yeah,
Because this is what August lives on. You know what I'm
this
saying?
is true.
And if anybody he gonna tell the girl that he's boning, of course.
Right. Actually,
Cause like if you think about it, he ain't got nobody else to tell though.
right, exactly. And it also, I believe, and also in this scene, um, he calls her Queen Sarah in the scene. Does he call her Queen Sarah in the
I don't
scene?
remember that.
Okay, I think that was in the next episode. I'm sorry. Um, excuse me. So in the next scene, we have Sarah and Felice. And Felice is telling Sarah, I'm so glad that I'm not in love with Willem anymore. And I'm so glad that Felice is in this space, that she's let go of that dream of being with the prince. And she's like, because dating a royal is not for me. It's the ish, honey. It's not
Yeah.
for me. And I'm glad that he's my bestie. And Sarah's like, oh, he's your bestie. So Sarah feels some type of way, and Felice is like, "Girl, I can have more than one bestie. It is what a girl. That don't mean I done forgot about you. You still my best friend, girl." I had this issue in it at some time because I do have some really really close girlfriends that I call my best friends.
Yeah.
And there is no really ranking or whatever. I do actually consider one to be my like ultimate best friend. Like we've been best friends since like middle school. We go back. But then there was another one that came along, about 2 or 3 years later, and we're the best of friends. So you can have more than one best friend. What did you feel about this conversation? And it seemed like Sarah was diminishing her relationship with Felice based off of what she was saying about Willem, and it sounds like she was a little bit jealous of her relationship with
She
Willem as
was.
well.
She is. I think she's taking the kitty approach, thinking that you can only really have one bestie or whatever. Personally, I don't use the whole best friend thing a whole lot. Like,
I've never heard you refer to anyone
mm-mm.
as your best friend. You always referred to Cece as your sister. So
Yeah, I use the brother sister thing. There are, um, yeah, Cece's my sister, and
and that makes
Jabari
it easier
and
to there are
Joseph.
multiples.
Yeah, because you can have multiple brothers and sisters. For some reason, they can't have multiple best friends as you should be able to. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. Brittany's my sister. Like I have a whole lot of sisters, people that I feel really close to. And once again, you can connect to a lot of people that way. So yeah. But I can say Cece's at the top because she was there since middle school.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, Lenora's always been my top, like
Hmm.
for real. Like she's we get each other so thoroughly. The way we laugh is like the way best friends laugh. Like it's girl, we've had some laughing times, honey.
And
We've
it's
had
about time
yeah,
also, in my opinion, and you guys developed a laugh together,
absolutely,
rather than
absolutely.
just, yeah,
We
so
had time and space to do that. Absolutely.
exactly.
And so we have August. he's setting up his room for Sarah. He's putting candles out, a little champagne here, a little something there, a little something there. He's really invested, Jennifer. Like he is
Yeah,
so invested in this girl. Like he
because
is
you know why?
because he's
It's
falling in
because
love.
not just that, it's because he actually has somebody that likes him back.
Yes, absolutely. Like genuinely likes him back. Like who's not just trying to get with him because she got turned down by the prince. Okay.
Okay, shoot, that's how that works. And good for him. Well, that's why I don't mind it. Good for him. It's one thing to really realize who really wants you, whether or not y'all make a diabolical couple. That's on y'all.
Yeah, my favorite reactor, and I got to get his name because I'm mentioning him so much. But when this scene was being shown, he stopped the scene and said, "Oh, August is making a little din din for Sarah, little flowers, little champagne. Oh, I don't
Child.
care." Yeah, that's exactly how he stated that. He's
Oh
hilarious. But
wow.
anyway, so next scene we have Marcus coming to Simone's house and picking him up to take him to the ball, even though he told Simone earlier in the day that balls are not his thing. And so that's what Simone tells him. And Simone actually smiles as soon as he sees Wilhelm, as soon as he, well, listen to me. As soon as he sees Marcus in the doorway, and he was like, "I thought you said, I thought you said balls weren't your thing." And Marcus holds out his hand to take Simone's hand, and he says, "Anything for you." That Marcus is a sweet guy. He really is. But he's, wrong place, wrong time.
Wrong
It's
person.
wrong person. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so then Marcus sits down on his bed and he notices Simone's fish. And he was like, "Oh, I don't think he says I didn't know you had pets because I think that's what Willem said in the last season. But he's like, "Oh, I didn't know you had fish. What do you call them?" And Simone takes a moment. He looks over and he was like, "They don't have names."
Okay, because
What was your reaction to that scene? Because we all know that those fish
okay,
have names because he definitely called out all three of them. Although it was chopped up a little bit in between ums and
chop the
ums and ums
screw.
and ums in the fifth episode of the first
Ah
season.
ah ah ah.
What was your reaction when Simone said that they don't have names?
I said, oh, really? No names, I see. Got too much weighing those fish down, huh? Too much feelings. So yes, I truly feel like he was smart to say they ain't got no names and just leave it alone because
Yeah, because
you don't need to go
you ain't
back
that
there.
dude. You ain't that dude to be
Yeah.
knowing all this information about my pets, my N word. Okay.
This is it's too much. Too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, and he probably doesn't want to go. And I'm sure as soon as he asked him about those fish, that's the first thought that came to his mind. Child,
Of course.
Will him hugging him from behind, kissing him on his neck, wrapping his arms around him, all that good stuff. Yeah, that
Oh,
you missing your man, honey. Okay.
child.
So then we get to the party. Everyone is dressing up in an old school 20th century. I don't know what century they're dressing up in. They got the big wigs. I know it's not the 20th century
I
because
like
20th century
olden
was the previous
time.
century. Didn't you love Felicia's black dress that she was wearing, as she didn't have on a blonde, a white wig? I loved what Felicia was
I was
wearing.
I was very happy that she didn't feel the need to have to wear one of those wigs. No, did she like say no? Like she didn't want to wear it?
Yeah.
Like yeah, I agree. I would have told her no too,
Okay.
sis.
Because
Like
at the end of the day, I'm still black.
it may be tradition, but
Okay, not
okay.
my tradition.
Oh!
Okay. And so Sarah sees, I believe her name is Frederica. Frederica is the one who sent, I believe, don't cuss me out if I'm wrong, but I believe it was Frederica that sent Madison the notes. And she was like, "I see how you two are together. You in love with that girl. What's going on?" And Frederica, she first acts like she doesn't know what she's talking about, but then she's like, "You can't tell anyone." And Sarah was like, "Why don't you just tell her, tell her that you like her?" And Frederica was like, "Well, if
No,
we,
it was Stella. Stella's the
Stella."
girl with the blonde hair that wrote the letter to
Oh, okay.
Frederica.
Oh, okay. Okay. So who's Madison?
Madison is the girl that be doing the incantations and all that stuff and
Okay.
affirmations and stuff like that.
Gotcha. All right, so I just got the names mixed up, but anyway, so Stella was like, well, we've been best friends for so long, and I would hate to lose her if we were to break up. Don't you hear about those types of situations a lot? And what would you suggest people do if they find themselves in a friend situation where they fall in love with their friend?
Here's the problem. This is what makes it even worse. It's simply because Stella, she has not been presenting herself as a lady lover,
Right.
and Frederica has not been presenting herself as a lady lover as well.
Hmm.
So if they both knew, if they knew that there was some lady loving in their systems, it would have been easier.
Lady loving in
But
the air.
yes, if there was some lady loving in the air, it would have been a lot easier to at least try to have the conversation. But if Frederica is as straight as I think she is, it either it could be a problem because there's no middle or in between.
No, there isn't.
Either she's cool or it's a absolute no. Either and there's a third one. Either she's cool and she wants to, you know,
Pursue it.
pursue a relationship, or she's cool and say, no, we can't do that.
Yeah.
And continue to try to stay friends. But for some people it's kind of difficult to stay friends in situations like that because, I just know that you like me or you're in love with me. That's
Makes things
that,
awkward for
yeah.
for at least one of the people,
Yeah.
if not
So,
both.
to be honest, I think it is in Stella's best interest to can remain a secret because,
And
yeah.
right, and in the LGBTQ plus community, it's so much harder than it is for those who are heterosexual, because when you don't know for sure if they swing in your way, then that makes it
Mhm.
even worse. Even if you get up the gumption, if you get up the gall, if you get up the balls,
Mhm.
to actually present your attraction to them,
Yeah.
and ain't no telling what that reaction is going to be. But
Yeah.
anyways, y'all.
I've actually had, situations where I've been told that, I'm attractive unto them. And I
Mhm.
said, "Oh, that's beautiful."
What's for lunch?
Yes.
Let's move on.
What's
Okay.
for lunch? Good times.
Child. So, anyways, the party is bumping. Okay, the kids are jumping. Okay,
Okay.
ladies, leave your
Okay.
man at home. Okay, yes.
Okay.
And Simone, he's got the wandering eye, y'all. The entire party, like the entire party. Simone's eyes are looking at who is he looking for, y'all? He's looking for Willem. Okay.
Okay.
Where you at?
Lord, I need to show him I got a man and make
Oh,
him feel
okay. I need
sad
to
and
show him I
sad.
got me a man, honey. Yes, a Simo's got a man at the party. Okay, and so Simone spots Willem over in the corner, and then he immediately, turns around and goes to Marcus and asks Marcus for a dance. And so Marcus says, "Oh yeah, sure, no problem." And so Marcus puts his hands on Simone's shoulder as he follows him onto the dance floor, and Simone is like literally bobbing his head. Like, for some reason, when I see Simone like bobbing his head, I'm like, he's really getting into this act. Like he's really enjoying this right now. Like he's committing. He is committing. Like that head bob was like because Simone doesn't even come across to me as someone who like really gets down with the get down. So
Mm-hmm.
what did you think of Simone's actions in that moment?
Deplorable to the point where I actually fast forward this moment. It's like, doo doo, no. Push past like 10 seconds, please.
Oh
I knew
no.
exactly what's going on. It's like, now we just trying to put ourselves out there like that. No, well, why?
Why? Why you gotta
Why?
do this, Simone? Why is this necessary,
It's gonna end up
Simone?
hurting yourself in the end. That's what it's gonna do.
Okay, that's all it's gonna do. And so Felice notices what's going on, and she goes over to Willem, and she's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Checking up on her good friend, as a good
Okay.
friend should. Okay,
Her
making sure her
her good
bestie,
Judy.
okay, her good Judy, making sure he good to go. And he was like, I have to be, I have to be okay. Um, he's saying that he has to be okay with Simone and
What can I
and
do?
Marcus
What can I
being
do?
being together. And so I just again I adore the fact that Felice um, and um, and Willem are having this friendship. So then Alexander comes into the party, and August meets him at the door. Well, not at the door, but at a doorway inside of the place. And he tells Alexander, well, I mean, you know that it was Willem's idea to blame the drugs on you, right? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
and Marcus and Alexander was like, why did he do that? And he said to protect Simone.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of August getting right back into his villain bag?
Well, that's what he does. I wasn't surprised at all. That's the one thing he was holding in and holding on to for the sake of his, space or whatever. But now he's better off right now. So
So he
I knew
doesn't
that
have to
was
do
coming
better.
out. Yeah, exactly.
It's so funny that sometimes villains they try to do better when they're down in the dumps, but whenever they get a little bit of a leg up, as Alexander Rogers
Okay.
would say, they get right back into their villain
As soon as
bag.
they start to
Like,
get a little comfortable, it's
okay,
done.
child.
Done.
Anyways, so next thing we have we have Wilhelm. He approaches Marcus and Simone. And I can't say whether I really love the scene or not. I will say I enjoyed the scene
Hmm.
because Wilhelm is sort of showing maturity.
He's
In the
trying.
fact, he's trying, yes, and he's showing that he's accepted the fact that Simone and Marcus are together, although he does not know the ins and outs, and although
And
he
I'm
does
here
not know,
for it. This is how you do it.
yes,
This
this
is
is how you
exactly
do
how
it.
you do it because that really throws people off their course, as you can see.
If you saw Simone's face during the scene, he was looking like, "What the fuck is this? Like, my plan isn't working. Like, my plan to make him jealous is not working. Willem is not over in the corner, bawling his eyes out because he
Okay.
saw B and Marcus getting down on the floor. Like, what is this? This ain't what I signed up for, honey. Okay." And so
Okay.
Willem is like, how are things going at the shooting range, Marcus? He was like, oh well, not as many people come out during the winter at the shooting range, but he was like, Willem, you should come back. And he was like, yeah, I think I will. And I think he said Simone should come too, but I'm not exactly sure. But he said someone else should come too. And then Wilhelm sits down, crosses his legs, and begins to eat his party cake. You know what I'm saying? So you
Hmm.
were proud of Willem in this moment.
It's a very smart thing to do. I doubt he understood what he was doing, but showing that I get it. I get it. It's okay. Y'all together, y'all do your thing.
Right.
And it actually makes, rather than just making you look like you're mature and in love, it looks like you're mature and not in love. And once again, that's how they get you.
That's how they get you. And this was a gut punch to Simone if I ever seen one.
He
But
was dazed and confused, honey.
okay, he did not know what to do with himself. Like he didn't know what to do with his face. Like during that entire conversation, he was like in the middle with his facial expressions. That's why I love the acting in this series because the acting you can see all of their emotions all over their face. Acting is so much more than reading lines on a script. You know what I'm saying? You have to put your all into it, and these actors are definitely doing that. So then after this conversation, Marcus is like, "Oh, Willem's a really nice guy. I never expected him to be such a nice guy. I don't know why you expect him to be." Well, maybe because of the way that Marcus thinks that Wilhelm and Simone were before they actually broke up. So maybe he was expecting Wilhelm to be another way. But, of course, Wilhelm has never been anything but a good man or a good boy in this case. So then
Or as
Wilhelm
good as he
goes,
could be.
yes. So then Wilhelm goes off to kind of get himself together. Obviously, him talking to Marcus took a lot out of him. It was a decision that he made, but I think he knew that he had to do it for himself.
Yeah.
Fake it till you make it. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what Wilhelm is doing. He's faking it until he makes it. But this clearly affected Wilhelm in a pretty deep way. And then Wilhelm goes out back into the party, and he runs into Simone. And Simone was like, "What was that all about?" That was a little bit weird, don't you think? And so Willem was like, I was just trying to be cordial with your man. Like, what's the issue? What's going on?
You
And
you you see how I said. That's how you get him off kilter.
Yes, okay, get him off their
Confusion.
plan.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. And Willem is like, I get it. You're not in love with me anymore, and I'll give you the space that you want. I'll leave you alone. And then he says, your boyfriend is a really nice guy. And Simone's face just drops. Like, did that just happen? Like,
This is too much. And you know what's beautiful is that that's what Willis' perception was. You told me to let go and let God. I let go, let God, and just continue to have this thought process of that you are done with me and you have a man now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and respect that. And I know he did not put into his thought process. I know he still loves me, but I'm just going to let him have that. I know he didn't put that into his thought process, but I knew.
of course. And it's like, Simone, is this not what you wanted? Did you not think that this might actually happen? Because I don't think he expected Willem to
No,
ever
he
get
wanted
to
him to
this point.
be he wanted him to be distraught. You know it.
Following him all over the place, not being able to let him go, and yeah, he wanted Willem to really suffer.
Absolutely. And when he saw that he wasn't suffering, there's a
Simone started
problem.
to suffer. Okay.
Okay, there's an issue afoot.
Okay, yes. So then we have August approach Sarah, and he was like, Why'd you ditch me? Like, why did you?" Because when after he was setting up his room for Sarah, Sarah actually texted him because he was expecting to go to the party with Sarah. They were going to go
I
as
thought
a
they were planning on ditching it together.
No. Well,
Oh,
yes, they were planning on ditching it together. And then August was like, "What happened? Like, I thought you were coming to my room. Like, what's going on?" That's why he was setting it up because he wasn't going to go to the party. So,
exactly.
so she was like, "What's going on between us?" And he was like, "So, did you just want to sleep with me? Are you just using me for the D? Like, what is this? Like." August is clearly distraught because he has true feelings for Sarah. And
Mm-hmm.
Sarah's response is, "Well, I saw what happened between Willem and Simone, and I didn't want that to happen between us." And so, but August is like, "Well, I'm not Willem. I'm not." And then August walks away. What did you think of that conversation? This was a grown conversation, child.
This is the most grown conversation that August and Sarah has had the whole time.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm happy that they had it. I'm happy that they're okay with expressing their feelings and stuff like that.
Right.
But they'll be fine.
Right. And I also feel like this happened because they're both older than the others, and slightly more mature in a way. But I guess
Mm,
it is what it is. But then we
mm,
get Marcus and Simone again. And Marcus is like, Simone is clearly distracted. Like, he's looking off. He's not paying Marcus any attention over here to the left. He's acting like Marcus is not even there. And Marcus is like, maybe I was thinking after the party, you can come back to my place. You know what I'm saying? And Simone is like,
mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Ah!
What?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm,
And he was like, no, like, come back to my place, if you know what I mean. Like, come back to my place. Okay. And Simone is like, yeah, we can do that. We can do that. And then Marcus is like, are you nervous about the performance or whatever? Because Simone is supposed to perform with the choir the new
mm-hmm.
song that he wrote for Wilhelm or about Wilhelm. But yes, the new song that they're supposed to be performing at this thing that's happening in episode 6. Simone says that he has to go and leave the room for a moment. And Marcus says he'll go get them some drinks. So then Marcus comes back with these 2 drinks in his hand. Like, Simone is nowhere to be found. The music teacher is looking for Simone. Simone is gone, y'all. Marcus looked so, I won't say pathetic, but he just looks like that guy at the party that thought that he had the person that he came to the party with, and they were going to leave together, and now he's realizing, not in this moment he's realizing that it's not going to happen, but like that's what, when I saw those 2 drinks in his hand and Simone was nowhere to be found, like, what did you think when you saw Marcus with those 2 drinks and Simone wasn't even there?
It's just another moment of you should have. We all knew what was going on. We all knew the chances, but for him to bank on that, he's just going to move on from a whole entire relationship and love. Um, he came in playing himself, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. So the music teacher is like Simone, Simone, and then we see Willem is already outside, and so Simone walks outside, and he says Willem. I love the way Simone says Willem's name. I just love
Hmm.
to hear him say his name. And so Willem walks off, and Simone is like, I'm trying to move on. Okay, I'm trying to move. I'm trying to move on. Like, was your last conversation not a confirmation that Willem understands that you're trying to move on, Simone? And so Willem responds with, I see that. And then Simone steps close up to Willem and said, everything just got so messed up between us. And Willem responds, I know. And then they kiss. And this makes Wilhelm's whole day, week, year,
Okay,
life, moment,
we gonna be all right.
everything, like the smiles that they have. First of all, they were close up on each other for what seemed like 30 to 45 seconds without doing nothing, just breathing in each other's air,
Whole bunch of serial
experiencing
breathers.
each other's presence. You know what I'm saying? All the heavy breathing. They do a lot of heavy breathing on this show, honey. And then they kiss. And were you? I know you weren't jumping for joy in this moment. So, what were your thoughts when you saw this? Did you see this coming?
Absolutely, because that's how it works. The
Hmm.
transference of energies and stuff like that. We watched a whole lot of like comedies and family shows that shows a whole lot of that, the transference of the energies and stuff like that when it comes to relationships.
Hmm.
And I knew that something was going to break because this is episode what 4.
Episode 4 of 6.
Yeah, like something was going to break, but I wasn't truly in this happy mode because just because you acknowledge your feelings doesn't mean that everything was taken care of. That
Because you
not
still
everything.
got Uberman upstairs
Exactly.
waiting when looking for you. Okay.
So, yeah, man. It was sweet though. It was very sweet. All I could think about is like, well, where do we go from here?
Where do I go from here? Erica Minute version, okay? Where do I go?
Mm, mm, mm.
So then they're interrupted by Marcus calling for Simone, and they immediately jump away from each other. They don't like jump away like dramatically jump
Yeah,
away from each other, but they immediately stop kissing. Simone says, "Oh, the choir," as if he forgot that the choir was supposed to be performing that night. I guess
that's all he could think about.
all he could think about was his man, his boo thing. Okay, his prince, honey. Okay, and so Marcus, it was like, where were you? What happened? What happened? And Simone was like, I was just getting myself together. I
Yeah,
was,
I needed some air.
I needed some air. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And so Simone goes back into the room, into the party, and Marcus looks over to his left, and he sees Wilhelm coming out from the bushes. How do you think Marcus is feeling in this moment when he sees that clearly Simone had a little rendezvous with his boo boo?
I knew it. That's what that was.
Yeah, that's exactly what that was.
Hmm.
Exactly what that was. And so we end the episode with Simone and the choir singing the song that Simone wrote about Wilhelm. And so Willem is actually standing in the front row, not that there are rows, but he's standing in front of the choir. And he's so happy. The joy on his face is so palpable. The joy on Simone's face is so palpable. While Marcus is standing somewhere over there, over yonder, and he's peeping was going on here. Okay, so what are your thoughts as we're ending this episode of how we're ending things off here?
Here we go again. And he better have this conversation with Marcus and just cut it. I understand trying to make it work, but this is why we don't go from one love and just jump on somebody else while you're still in love. You have to exercise that thing.
Right.
You got to really work at that.
If you're looking for a rebound, don't get your feelings involved, or don't think you're going to get your feelings involved
Or
because
don't get with somebody that already has feelings involved.
Right, exactly, child. So that's the end of this particular episode. Next week we'll be back. We'll be back with episode 5, where
Yay!
things things progress a little bit more. I want you
Just a
guys to
little
follow
bit.
me on Instagram. My Instagram is JoJo_speaks 3020. My Facebook is Jonathan Lee. My email is williamjonathanlee@gmail.com. I do have my own YouTube channel. It is JoJo Speaks. I post videos every Thursday night at 9:30 with hot topics and social commentary with my co-host Genesita, who we have here on the Light of the Leo, as well as my brother-in-law Tyrone and our good friend Mike. So join us this Thursday and watch our other videos from the past Thursdays, our older videos, for hot topics and social commentary with me and the crew. Thursday night at 9:30. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff.
Yes, and of course we are here at the Light of the Leo. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Please go ahead and subscribe here. Please like this video. Thank you so much for joining us for this this spoiler review. You can follow me at Instagram, TikTok, and of course, once again, YouTube at the Light of the Leo. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.
Bye, y'all.